Streetwise Intellect Production.
What's happening, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Bubble Podcast, your new home for Bay Area talent, presented by Streetwise Intellect Productions. I am your host, Mystery the Realist, and I will always have something nice to talk about. In this episode of Views and Opinions, entitled, Why Do You Keep Pointing Out Those Wounds? I have a mouthful to talk about, guys. I don't want to get off of track in some cases, but you know, the whole point of this monologue is to kind of wake people up to stop pointing out scrapes on your knee that we all have as a culture. Yes, we are generally as a culture oppressed, and I'm talking about black people. And yes, it hurts. It's emotionally scarring. It's intellectually scarring. It's just all the way around bad. However, a lot of the stuff that we be pointing out are fights that we don't even have to go through in this time of day. And that is the reason why I want to get this episode going. Let me introduce the topic once more. This is Views and Opinions, and this episode is called, Why Do You Keep Pointing Out Those Wounds? Now, I don't have a disclaimer for this one, guys. We're just going to jump straight into it. So, my reasoning for bringing this up as a topic is because I believe that this is also a hindrance from the culture of black people progressing forward. I am stammering in my words because I'm trying to be not politically correct, but you know, somewhat sound of everybody's feelings out there. So I don't want to say anything to be abrupt or vulgar or aggressive. So that's why you always hear me stammering in my words, guys. But yes, I'm bringing this topic up because I believe that it is one that is a hindrance to my culture as a people, as a whole. And it's not general, it's everyone. So if you've been following along with these Views and Opinion episodes, you will recall last week that I mentioned how some of the culturally rooted groups in my culture are kind of preaching the wrong things. And I'm speaking on that right now because I said I was going to speak on it a little bit more, and this is when I'm going to do it. So in my opinion, I believe that some of the cultures that want to uplift their people, I mean, they start out, and I'm talking about everybody here. I'm talking about not just black people. I'm talking about everybody. So they start out with a good heart. They start out with good intentions. They start out with everything going good. But people become hit with reality once things start going, once the balls start rolling, and they start seeing that, okay, it takes finances to do this. It takes discipline to do this, and we don't have too much of either. So what tends to happen, I'm not saying this happens with every group, but what tends to happen with these groups is that they become financially sound on government aid, and that entail brings a little bit more or a little bit less control on the part of that group. That group is more marginalized into what they can say or what they can't say because they are subsidized now. And like I said, it's not every group, but it's a lot of the groups out here. So for them to preach the truth, yes, it is truth that we are oppressed. Yes, we are facing a lot of stuff out here in the world that is making it difficult for us to live in the world. However, once you start dying down or dialing back from that rhetoric and your actions are not following behind that, then it becomes questionable. And I'm one of those people that questions it because I'm a people watcher. I am a people watcher. That's why I call myself a realist. I am a people watcher, and I like watching all of the actions of people. I know a lot about human interactions, but I don't know everything. So I'm constantly always watching. So when I'm speaking, I am speaking something that is not something I wrote in a journal 20 years ago. I feel this to this day. This is everything coming out of my heart when I speak to you guys. I'm not reading from a script. I'm not reading from something that was pre-written. It's nothing like that. Everything that I'm speaking on is real, and it's coming from the heart. And I'm black, so I feel like I can speak on this. So when it comes to these groups, pro-black groups, La Raza groups, even some of the Asian groups, they become government subsidized, and the message becomes watered down and diluted to where you can't see it anymore. It becomes translucent. So that is my thing against that, and that is like one of the main reasons I brought up the topic, because it's like, why do we keep pointing out these old wounds? I mean, it's like, they don't have the water hose and the dogs out anymore. I mean, yes, there is an elevated and an evolved form of it still happening. However, bringing up all of this stuff that's still in black and white visuals, I mean, come on, guys. Let's talk about something that the children and the generations that are behind us can relate to. So that's why I'm saying, hey, quit pointing out the damn wounds, because when we're young, or when we're younger, we learn to fall, we learn to get up, and we keep walking. We don't keep pointing out the wounds or whatever that we got when we fell on that rock or whatever. We keep walking and we keep going. And that is the message I'm trying to bring across in this monologue. I kind of speak to some of my peers in a manner of saying things like, I don't do, my actions aren't for the people around me anymore. I'm not looking to have the people that I call brothers, or the people I call sisters, or the people I call family. I'm not looking for any kind of acknowledgement or backup from them. I'm not looking for that anymore. What I do now, what I speak on now, the actions that I put forth now are for the younger generation. I am trying to do my part as what I'm supposed to be doing in the human race, to live, learn, and teach. Now, a lot of the stuff that I may have been teaching through influence may not have been good, but that's a learning experience for me and the people that were involved in that. So back to the point. So looking at these wounds, or pointing out these wounds, it's not a good thing, because now we have the younger generation growing up with this stigma in mind that, okay, I'm not going to put forth my best effort because the system is already against me. That is incorrect, man. We shouldn't be putting that into the atmosphere. I understand we as adults, and we as grown-ups, people that get over a certain age, we start feeling a certain way, and we want to express that and have people feel that. But we have to become aware of where we're doing it, how we're doing it, and who's listening to it. Because just like it's not a lot of people out here that are fortunate to be parents, but just like kids, look at the parents. You don't even have to be doing anything. They're learning something from you. They're learning something from the way you move. They're learning something from the way you react, your facial expressions. They're learning something from your body motions. Everything is being watched by the younger generation, and it's not just the parents that the kids be watching. So I'm just saying we need to stop pointing out the anger side of our not emotion. What is it that I'm looking for? The anger side of what we're trying to convey. It's not a message. I know we're not trying to convey a message of anger, but we can't be so angry when we're conveying what it is we're trying to get across. That right there is the first thing and only thing that people will remember out of that exchange.